Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Foul Play in a Rogues Gallery production. My name is Father. Today, joining me on the cast is my boy Entry, and we have our boy Tim as the observer. Entry, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not too bad. Just got done working a real hard work week. I've been working 4-hour days now, which is like a lot for me. So
That's really admirable.
Yeah, on the front lines helping save lives, but it's no real thing. The most important part of my day is really casting this series. We have a real exciting one for you today. It's Jaeyun vs. Gypsy, two NA titans, legends. There are many words to describe them, but I actually wasn't going anywhere with that one. They're legends, for sure. I don't know. These two players are so kind of well known in the NA scene, and they've been playing with each other for so long now that I'm really interested to see what comes of these matches today. I mean, they've played probably. Go for it.
I'm really glad they're playing Broodwar because they had short forays into Among Us, and they're very untalented, and they don't put in the work in night games.
Yeah, they're not committed to the practice schedule that you need to really get good at that game. Jaeyun definitely, that guy has no idea what he's doing. He's always sus, but at least Gypsy sometimes gets the calls right. I know he nailed you once, which I assume is where this animosity comes from. But
he guesses me every time.
I mean, that's just kind of a surefire way to win. Oh yeah, we also got a pre-game interview with some anonymous players.
Yeah, I heard we hired an official interviewer, unbiased official interviewer. So
yeah.
The interviewer thinks it's going to be a Gypsy 3-0, it sounds like. And who did we interview? We interviewed some top NAs, right? They think it's a 3-0. Well, they also interviewed an idiot, and they don't think it's a 3-0. So
yeah, that's clearly not the correct opinion when it comes to this show match. I think everyone's expecting
it's definitely a 3-0.
Yeah. We had a poll on Team Liquid.
Oh, there's a poll?
Yeah, there is a poll on Team Liquid actually, and only 55% of people voted for Gypsy. So 45% of our viewers are wrong.
Are uninformed idiots, it looks like.
Right. But yeah, it's good that we're getting some more community feedback, making sure that we're keeping people in the loop about these exciting show matches, and making sure that people know the correct opinion to have about it.
Yeah, the goal of Rogue's Gallery is to have as many 3-0s as possible.
Right, which is why we brought in our first player today, the Zerg master from North America. It is Jaeyun. You guys know him, you guys love him. You've seen the streams, you've seen the BSL top 16 finishes. I mean, everybody knows this guy, let's be honest.
So I'm surprised to see that he has a few wins on his resume.
Yeah, he's gotten a couple, 2 over Cryok and 1 over Casper. Definitely nothing to scoff at. And he's gone 6-2 in Nation Wars, which is pretty not bad.
That's not bad.
0-1 versus Kogut though.
Sad.
Yeah.
Are you saying Koget sucks?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that 0-1 is not exactly the match history you'd like going against someone like his opponent, who's really just, I mean, on top of his game.
He's just practicing for 0-3.
Right. And we have his opponent, Gypsy, the Terran Titan from Canada, from the Great White North. That's not Canada, I don't think, but it is for today. He's smoking his little cigarillo. He's got his little cap on. He's looking cute. All roughed up.
Actually, he looks a little dirty. He looks a little poor.
I mean, the practice hours that he's putting in to get good at this game require a level of dedication that having to do laundry is not involved with. So it's really all about the hours spent playing.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, his face is a little dirty too. It's not just his clothing.
I think that's supposed to be a beard. I hope you're not insulting our illustrators.
No, look by his ear. No, it's a great drawing. It provides a lot of detail.
Yeah, a lot of detail about his lifestyle. 1-3 against Striker in the last foul play NA. Kind of upset. We were expecting a 3-0, but instead we got a 1-3. But
Striker, interestingly, is Jaeyun's student, so he lost against the student.
Right, he lost against his student, but he's most certainly going to 3-0 today. And he went 3-2 against Hawk in NASL 3, which is pretty solid. Hawk, definitely a solid ZVT player, as we've seen previously.
Good team melee player too.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that entry. This is not the time or place for team melee discussion.
Right.
You had your King of the Hill, but yeah, NASL round of 4 as well. So pretty solid results coming in from Gypsy. But I think a lot of players know that he plays quite well in practice, but sometimes isn't as stellar when it comes to tours or big show matches like this.
Why is that, do you think? Does he get really nervous?
I think nerves definitely play a part of it. The North American scene especially is so driven by ego in some ways that you kind of have to confront that at some point when you start playing tours or you move away from ladder. You got to deal with all these clashing egos and join in on that battle yourself. So sometimes it can drive the nerves up for sure, especially when we have so many loyal viewers and fans watching in the audience.
Dude, we have so many.
So many.
And also, I guess when you're playing for a prize pool, it's different too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Speaking of a prize pool, we have one for today's cast. We have a match Reno, and we also have a coupon code today. If you click on that link, it should be popping up in chat soon, and use the coupon code KINGPIN, one word, no caps. You'll be able to contribute 25 cents with absolutely no charge to you. So make sure to do that real quick. Support our NA players. All the money donated goes straight to the prize pool, straight to the players, which is what this is really all about.
Do we actually give 100% of the prize pool to the players?
Yeah, unfortunately the casters do not get a cut.
Dude, they're just playing this dumb game. I don't know.
Right, it doesn't need the charm or charisma that it takes to cast. I mean, this has a real skill set to it. Brood Warrior,
they're just pushing buttons.
They're just pushing buttons at the end of the day. It's really just about how fast you play. It's just a measure of speed. So I think something like commentating is a lot more impressive. But looks like our first map. Yeah, it looks like we're actually getting into it. First map is going to be Benzene, 2-player map. Somewhat Zerg favorite, I'd say. It's really hard to play bio on this map, so you're kind of forced into opening up with a gas build, which kind of makes things predictable.
Yeah, I've seen lots of Wraith dropship, like Vulture drops.
Yeah, lots of 1-1-1. You can wall off both natural locations, so going for a gas like that is pretty safe. You're not going to die to just some random Ling all-in.
Okay, we have Fathering Father, top right.
Okay, interesting one. I like this. Spawning in the top right as Zerg, and in the bottom left we have regular Gypsy, red Terran.
Is this position better for Terran? Marines spawn inside your wall?
Yeah, right? Yeah, I believe so. So slightly better if Gypsy's going to go for the wall. We'll see if that actually happens. He is known to be a wall hater in some ways, but yeah, it's really good on this map, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did see it.
Have you seen a 13cc on this map?
Yeah, 13cc. Interview how he was definitely going to just go with 13cc every single game, and Jaeyun even acknowledged it in his interviews. So the mind games are certainly primed and ready to go. But looks like Gypsy's not going to do a natural wall off. He's doing something in his main. Not going to go for the 13cc most likely.
Probably going to be a tech build.
Yeah, which is to be expected. Yeah, trying to play SK Terran on this map is a genuine nightmare as compared to just like the figurative nightmare that it is on every other map.
Yeah, TVZ notably very difficult for Terran.
Yes. Yes, yeah. Definitely.
Unwinnable even.
Well, some smart people have said that, but I don't think everyone agrees, so...
Who doesn't agree?
I don't know. I see like mad people in Twitch chat when I say that. I guess they think that for some reason Zerg can't win, but I don't know.
Uninformed viewers.
Right, right. We see Gypsy going for the 12 gas, which is to be expected. What we were expecting.
Looks like a factory wall here.
Yeah, I guess so. Walling is definitely not Gypsy's most common play, but it seems like he's been spending a little bit more time with Nyoken and has been converted to the ways of the wall-in. Actually, hold on, I need to pull this up because Nyoken sent me a PM the other day, and it was just a quote from Gypsy. It was Gypsy today at 4:10 a.m. I'll tell you what, walls are P good TVZ. So we have a little bit of incriminating evidence behind the scenes to show that Gypsy's been switching sides on the walling debate to become a filthy waller himself.
It might have been like, after he got smacked by his strikers, he's trying to put in a little work,
Yeah.
Can we not say that? Sorry, he was defeated, unfortunately.
Thank you. We got informed from Tim that we're not allowed to use that word, so...
Oh, yeah, they can.
Gypsy keeping his gas in, not pulling off, so not going for just a regular factory expand, normal Goliath type play. Looks like we're going for maybe 1-1-1. I'd love to see 2-port personally, but I feel like most likely that's not going to be the case.
Dude, I've seen have you seen Lights games recently? It's just like 2-port every game, even PvP.
Doesn't matter what matchup, he's going 2-port.
He makes it look good,
Yeah. On the other side of the map, Jaeyun mostly just doing normal stuff, going for 2 hatch, getting his lair right away. And the creep colony recognizes that the CC isn't down by now, so there's going to be a vulture at some point, potentially. And it looks like we actually are getting 2-port, so I'm very pleased to see this. This is definitely a fan favorite build in Terran vs. Zerg. And at this point, it all comes down to execution. 2-port versus 2 hatch is totally playable from both sides. I wouldn't say there's a strong advantage for either player. It really all 100% comes down to execution at this point. How good is Gypsy's Wraith control compared to Jaeyun's Muta control if he decides to go for that route?
Are you a 2-port user?
On occasion, I've been known to. This season, I've been trying to play with no map vetoes, so that leaves me in the unfortunate position of sometimes having to play TVZ on this map. And I really just play SK Terran like 100% of the time if I'm not forced to. So on this map, where that's pretty much not an option, I pull out the 2-port on occasion. I like this spire placement. Almost looks like a creep colony to the uninformed. And we're going for a straight 2 wraiths right away. Probably get an add-on after that and start clicking.
Yeah, we'll see. Jane's already running away as Overlord.
Yeah, definitely aware of the possibility. We did see some delayed gas builds from Gypsy against Striker last time. He was going for that like Flash Valkyrie build a lot. So Jaeyun might be expecting that. We'll see if he gets caught off guard by the 2-port Wraith, but he actually gets, it looks like a wing inside the main base of Gypsy, so it looks like he's going to get off a full scout of the main base. Probably scouting both ports.
I'm curious to see how Jaeyun reacts to this. Every Zerg has their own preferred method of handling 2-port.
Some people like to get more spore colonies to deal with them. Some people like to go all in with muted Scourge. And both require a different response from Terran.
Yeah. I've always used like a boomer response. I think Ariador uses it. It's like
Oh, good
you
lord.
get a Queen Hydra into Hydra Lurker drop.
Yeah, that sounds like a boomer build.
The tank is late.
Yeah, it's true. This is quite the investment from Terran, so getting Overlords is a good start, but we're going to have to do a lot more than that.
Yeah. Dude, you have to do so much damage with 2-port to make it worth it.
We got the trash talk beginning already. Father's G father. I don't even get that. What does that even mean?
Well, Jaeyun, not
Oh, grandfather. Oh,
not known for his comedic skills.
no, not known, I would say.
Yeah.
He's taking bottom right as his third base, which is pretty solid. He wants that gas, and he knows there won't be a threat coming up from Terran for a long time besides these wraiths.
Yeah. I mean, it's just going to be these rates for a while, right? I mean, I guess you could do like a one-base Marine Medic.
Yeah, some people like to do that transition, but I think most likely at some point we're going to go for a command center and try and expand. But yeah, you see the issue with 2-port wraith here is these mutas are already in our base, and the wraiths are good at fighting them for now, but if we want to get out on the map with wraiths, we're going to have to start building a couple turrets, and building turrets off one base is just like really not good for your mural economy.
It's real bad. I guess Gypsy might just make that one.
Yeah, we're getting a couple muta pickoffs, and now the cloaking kicks in. There's no overload in sight for Jaeyun with the great muta split, but losing about 3 or 4 mutalisks already. Pretty good for Gypsy, I've got to say. Looks like he's going to intercept another one even. And things might be spiraling out of control for Jaeyun, losing more overlords. Only has 3 mutalisks left to fight with. A couple Scourge pop out, but even with Vision, it's not like he can really fight these wraiths. I mean, they're going to continue getting pickoffs.
It's really volatile. Like, it swings so quickly.
Yeah, as you can see, supply blocked by about 30 at this point, and he is not Koget, but he is Gypsy, and he is winning this game so far with just wraith control.
Yeah.
But still no natural command center, just started, so there is at least that saving grace for Jaeyun. He is on third base, so it's not the end of the world.
Supply blocked, look at that.
Yeah, really not the greatest situation to be in. He's been supply blocked so long that it's not even red anymore.
Do you think he realizes that it's going to be a 3-0?
Has it set in yet? It's a good question.
Yeah, has it set in?
Maybe we're going to do like a mid-series interview after this game.
Do you realize you're about to get 3-0?
Micro from Gypsy, and it looks like he's just going to take down these mutas. 5 wraiths against 3 mutas is not a fight that's like he's really wanting to take.
He's going to lose these overloads too.
Yeah, most likely. So with real solid wraith micro, Gypsy is taking a huge lead in game 1, and this is definitely not the build I was expecting to see. Well, actually it was because I called it, but this is definitely not the status quo Gypsy build. That would be the 13 command center, of course. And we see him transitioning into Valkyries. I like this a lot.
Do you make more than just like 2?
Probably not. They take so much minerals.
Yeah, they're so
expensive. He's producing out of both Starports right now. So is he just going for an all-air army, or at least going for Wraith Valkyrie?
I mean, if Jaeyun continues with this muta response, he's just dead.
Right. There's no... I mean, he got his Evo chamber, but he doesn't have a Hydrogen. All he has is a couple of spores at the third base. Nothing even in the Nat or main base. And so he's going to be fighting against Valkyrie Wraith with Scourge and Mutalisks. Not a winning fight, I would say. But we do see the wall coming back to bite Gypsy. These SCVs having to do a little tango merry-go-round dance.
Yeah, that's a game-ending damage to his economy.
You really see the toll that walling in takes on the Terran player. And 7 spaceships shoot at a tiny little dog Zergling, and it still doesn't die. Good one, Blizzard.
These Zerglings are nuts.
Yeah. I mean, like, in that StarCraft cinematic, that one redneck killed it just by hitting it with his car. And then,
well, actually, he was a doctor. He's like, he seems like a redneck, but he had a professional degree. He saved lives, much like you.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But are those two things mutually exclusive, really, when you think about it? I mean...
Well, I guess you're right. Most rednecks are doctors also.
Yeah, yeah. But still, from Jaeyun, going up to Hive now, actually. Dude, I wonder if we're going to get some Devourers or something. That'd be fun. I mean, we're just going to get free drunk kills here. What's Jaeyun's response to this? I don't even know if he can take a heads-up fight against this army, and especially not with this micro. Pulling the mutas out of Overlord's sight range, and this is just a complete disaster from Jaeyun. Really good patrol micro from Gypsy,
Yeah.
damaging lots of those mutalisks, but none of them actually go down, just several of them are heavily bruised. We got +1 air weapons for Jaeyun, but we're about to have potentially 4 Valkyries from Gypsy, and I think that's going to spell game over for
Dude, what is he
Jaeyun.
doing with his hive? Like, is this gonna be? Maybe he got really quick armor upgrade on the Evo. It's like a crackling thing. I don't know.
That'll be interesting. I'm just hoping for Devourers personally, although that might not be realistic. I just want to see full-on air versus air wars here. You know?
He might get rolled without a air carapace. He got attacked.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. The armor upgrades really compound for Zerg when you're fighting against Valkyries like this. And now that we've identified where the mutalisks are, we can just pull the Valkyries over here, and Jaeyun cannot take this thing into it at all. He's gonna try and do it, slowing up the mutalisks as best he can, but there are 3 Valkyries here just absolutely shredding the mutalisks. And meanwhile, at least they're taking out the overlords. Yeah.
The Valkyries are so beefy, he like went for him, I'm surprised.
Yeah, try to dive them, but yeah, Valkyries are real tanky, have that natural armor, all the mutalisks are gone down, and I'm expecting a tap out any moment here from Jaeyun. Couple of Scourge don't connect. And ooh, a little bit of miss micro, lose 1 Valkyrie. Nice back shot, but still loses a second. So some silver lining, I suppose, but losing drones in the main base, losing our whole needle flock. I mean, what's our transition from this?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's only 1 more Wraith left. I'm worried about the Marine Medic though. There's no way to stop this.
Yeah, this is going to be the game in there potentially. His Valkyries, he still has 1 left. It's at low health, so he'll probably repair it, but yeah, there's just not much to stop this Marine Medic army. +1 mutalisks are good, but we don't even have that much. We have more Scourge than mutas at this point, and only 1 sunken colony at the natural. Nothing at the 3rd base. So if Gypsy actually scanned this 3rd base, saw the Ultra Cavern coming up, he could just immediately move there, end the game potentially. And we'll see if Ultras are able to come out in time to stop the Marine Medic, but if he just stems in now, it's no way. He's going to lose so much before they pop. And I hear the stem sound, the first sunken getting focused down, immediate drone pull to the main base. Jaeyun knows he just has to survive here and get these Ultras out to have any chance at winning at all. Valkyrie gives its life for a couple shots, but it looks like we're going to lose just about everything at the natural here.
Might be too late, yeah.
Yeah. Looks like the beginning of the 3-0, if you know what I mean. And we're just sprinting to the main base. We want these drone kills. Ultras, famous for their build time, still not out. Sitting in their eggs, watching the whole 3rd colony get ripped to shreds by those U-230. Which one is it? U-236 shells? I don't actually know.
238 maybe?
Yeah, I'm a fake Terran player for sure. But that's going to do it for game 1. GG. Father the Grandfather taps out.
Are you related to every player in NA?
Yeah, I have a long history, lineage dating back to 22 years ago when this game came out. And I was born. But I don't know, that doesn't seem like a very good omen that Jaeyun loses on Benzene. I mean, out of all the maps in the map pool, that's definitely one of the more solid ones for Zerg.
Okay, looks like we have the next quote. Okay, diplomatic top any Zerg, actually being very rude. They both
these names seem to be just completely counterintuitive. You would think these people are the opposite of what they should be named, you know?
Yeah, it's true. So Anonymous Luminary thinks Gypsy 3-0 unless he tilts.
Yeah. That's a good opinion.
Also, despite what Father says, TVZ is easy as AF, whatever AF stands for.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not
so
sure about
this. What does AF stand for?
I don't know, actually. That sounds like some Zoomer vernacular I'm not familiar with. I can't keep up with the kids these days, you know how it is.
Too quick.
Yeah, too fast, too quick. Map 2 is going to be Polypoid. Jaeyun's pick.
Jaeyun's faking technical issues?
Yeah, faking technical issues, calling up his buddies in South Korea, seeing if he can get maybe Bishop to play on his account. We'll see if he pulls through. I know it's not the best timing right now. It's like, what is it right now in Korea? Like 9 in the morning? I know pro gamers aren't awake until noon at least, so.
Do you think Bishop can beat Gypsy though?
If it's Bishop playing Zerg, I don't know. I mean, you listen to Gypsy talk about the Zerg players that he's smacking left and right all nighter. If you talk to him for 2 seconds, he'll just immediately start bragging about random semi-pro Zergs that he beat. Don't even get him started, man.
Does he really do that?
Oh, yeah. Holy
He's such
moly,
a
dude.
humble, nice young man.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it from his interviews, but he's really, really not.
Okay, here we go.
Polyploid, one of those maps that's just impossible for Terran to beat Zerg on, along with all the other maps. But we'll see if Gypsy can make a way like he did on Benzene.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he can overcome all odds.
Right. Alright, we're getting into it.
I think a 13cc after slapping your opponent
Yeah,
game 1 is really nice.
it seems like the play. Spawning in the top right, once again, is the red Terran. We got Gypsy starting up 1-0 in the series so far. And the top left, we have his opponent, Jaeyun, about where he's expected to be.
Okay. Jaeyun salty. Gypsy feeling himself.
Salt. Yeah. Oh, that's
Jaeyun
an
pretending
emote I
he
haven't
didn't
seen in a
grind.
while.
Jaeyun pretending he doesn't care, but really he cares a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta save your mental somehow, even if you have to lie to yourself about it, but...
Yeah. You can see on the minimap, Gypsy was spamming his F keys. He's planning to take at least a natural.
Whoa.
He hotkeyed his third, too.
That's pretty crazy. We're going out there.
We're going out there.
Jaeyun begging for mercy. Yeah, everything comes back to the 13cc at the end of the day. When is it going to happen? Which games is it going to happen? And when is Jaeyun going to go for pull first in response? These are all the questions that need to be answered.
Yeah. For our viewers who don't play, 13cc is the only way Terran can get on even footing with the Zerg.
Right, potentially. Unless they get scouted first and then it's 3 halves before pull. And then the game literally is over. You can just leave.
Over.
But if you get lucky and don't get scouted first, yeah, you actually have a chance going into the mid game.
Okay, but Gypsy, not 13cc.
Forfeiting the early game and the mid game and the late game. It's an interesting decision. We'll see how it pays off. But Jaeyun also not playing into his shenanigans, just going for his normal 12 hatch, not falling for the bait.
This map strikes me as a SK turn map.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many like high ground slopes that I really wouldn't want to try and play mech on it. Having to attack up against Hydras sounds like a nightmare. And mech is really boring, so every time I have an excuse not to play it, I don't.
Yeah, I think Gypsy will just play super standard this game.
Yeah, he got his gimmick win. He can just kind of coast off that.
Yeah. Okay, Jaeyun sees. Scouts no gas.
Yeah. We see no gas, but we also see that Jaeyun is not getting a gas either. It looks like he's going for 3 hatch.
What is he doing, man? That's a weird, that gas is just slightly late for 2 hatch, but too early for 3 hatch.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he's doing with this hatch timing. If he's gonna go for a third or what. We have the drone blocking at the
he's blocking. Ramp.
So in response, Gypsy's gonna move out with these Marines. There's actually no spotting Overlord or Zerg at all, so the Marines are gonna get pretty much all the way across the map uncontested. If Gypsy wants to, he can really press the issue. He's not going to find any Overlords, unfortunately, but this Overlord's actually... Wow. It looks like he actually missed that on the vision, so if Jaeyun hasn't been making 2 Zerglings only is not enough to fight this 4, maybe, but with an SCV and 3 Marines, we can definitely micro this. And getting a first... Oh, we're getting both these Lings, so this is actually going to spiral into a complete disaster. Jaeyun needs to start Zerglings immediately. He's actually going to fight with his drones. Gets one picked off. Zergling's going down.
This is real bad.
Oh, this is a nightmare. This is like enough damage to kind of even his A-Racks. Okay. There's only enough room for one father in this cast, right? Calling games like that.
0-2, real sad. How do you think Jaeyun feels about a 0-2?
Not so good. 3 Marines did not get... Yeah, we got another hatchery. Bottom left. But yeah, they cannot be feeling good about this, taking that much damage to 3 Marines. And then we didn't even lose the Marines. They're just half health, and they'll get healed up when the medics are out. So really amazing position for Gypsy to start in.
Hydra down. Okay, looks like a... Are those all lanes? I wonder what those eggs are in Jaeyun's base.
Yeah, it's not really a normal Jaeyun thing to do, but I could see him just go for an all-in from this point in response, knowing that he's taking so much damage. But we have the counter, or the extra scout from Gypsy, spotting the Hydra,
That's
then
big,
seeing one gas only, seeing this banking up of larva, so he knows that something's up. He probably notices that there's not enough infrastructure here, that there's something missing. So he if he's really in tune with the scouting right now, he should know there's another hatchery somewhere. There's just really not enough in Jaeyun's base to account for how much he should have. So we'll see if Gypsy's in tune with this.
Even if he doesn't see that hatchery, Gypsy's already in a great spot.
Totally, and yeah, scouting the Hydra thing.
If you know it's lurkers, you don't have to make turrets. Yep. You can like get faster tech.
Yep. Yeah, so much of the damage that Mutalisks do is how janky the Terran build has to become to defend against it. I mean, you almost always have to cut SCVs to get your turrets up in time against 2-hatch, which really just throws your build for a loop. It makes it harder to get your factory plus all your upgrades and constant SCV production. So yeah, having to circumvent or having to not get those turrets is a great... Oh, we're just staying in here. We don't get a heck. We don't get 2 hecks. There's 2 Sunkens, but we have the Fire Bats running in from behind. There goes those Zerglings. And this is a lot of DPS. Running the Fire Bats. Oh, that's 1G.
1G.
Oh, 1G. We know what that means. We know what 1G means. Right. I don't know. I think it's actually just game.
Oh, it's game?
It's just game. He's acknowledging that they did play a game, but he's definitely not making any value judgments on it.
I think that's responsible. Like,
no. It's better than just leaving the game without saying anything. That would be disrespectful. Just acknowledge that you and your opponent had a game of StarCraft. It was awful. They got lucky, but it was a game.
Yeah.
All right. Starting off 2-0 for Gypsy. All the cards falling into place. The dominoes stacking. Yeah. All those euphemisms and analogies that people use.
Yeah. And for our 3-0 map, to close out the series, it's going to be...
Our third and final map is Optimizer. An interesting pick from Jaeyun. This is one of the most heavily Terran favored maps in the map pool. Has a crazy Terran win rate on spawn bang. Obviously, mech is pretty incredible. I think it was like 60 something. I want to say like it's kind of just incredibly high. So Terran actually has a shot. Obviously, with 3 gas geysers available to you on 2 bases, things like mech are amazing. Because usually with mech, off 2 bases, you're limited to going for Goliaths and upgrades or vessels. You kind of have to pick like 2 of the 3. It's hard to go for all of it at once with your gas count. But with 3 gas geysers, you can pretty much have it all and then take your 4th gas without too much hassle. But we'll see what the spawns are like, as they're pretty impactful for this matchup on this map in particular. All right, we're getting into it. In the bottom left, we've switched to purple. It's Gypsy. And the bottom right, I don't even want to attempt to guess this color. We got Jaeyun.
These spawns aren't bad. It could be worse. I think it's really bad if it's vertical.
Right. It's the vertical spawns are kind of the game changer for sure. Having the minerals mined out in the back allows you to do cool counter harassment things. And also, since they're not vertical, Jaeyun can take its 3rd base at 3 o'clock without too much issue.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Do you see a lot of 2-hatch here? 2-hatch meta when you go mech?
Yeah.
Because of the safe threat.
We got some semicolons coming out. You know what? We're gonna say Jaeyun spawned at 5 o'clock, not 4 o'clock. Well, this is so hard to call.
It's more like 4:15 or 4:20.
Yeah, be precise. Good times. I don't know. We're gonna make do. I'm just gonna call it 4. We're going back to 4. All right.
Jaeyun made 2 drones together, 2 of his early drones together.
So spending his time typing instead of playing the game. definitely a normal thing for these players. And we have an interesting matchup of builds. 8 racks. Oh, bringing up intrigue. We got 8 racks from Gypsy, 9 pull
What is
from
he talking
Jaeyun.
about? Are they talking about popular geniuses in the scene?
No, they're talking about rich millionaires actually, but
Oh,
almost the same thing.
it's a little embarrassing when people bring up my wealth. It's something I don't like to talk about.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. A very humble guy. Once again, walling in at his natural. I wonder if this is even Gypsy playing at this point. At what point do we start calling BS and asking to see the hotkey logs? Going for 9 pull speed also from Jaeyun. This is one of his favorite builds. Favorite builds in the whole wide world. Yeah, well, he knows he can't win straight up ZBT against Gypsy, so he's got to go for the cheesy cheese. The easy cheese.
I want to do some player analysis. Did you see Gypsy reversed his little smiley face?
Yeah, we got an 8 and a left parentheses this time.
Yeah. That means that parentheses is open-ended, which means that he's looking forward to the future.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Do you know what star sign Gypsy is?
He's a Cancer.
No, actually, he's a Pisces.
Oh, he's a Pisces?
Can you give us a little bit of analysis about what that means for this game?
Yeah, Pisces, they tend to be mouth breathers.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Intrigue. Gypsy spots the lings, but he has a wall in ready for these dirty Zerglings when they get there with the SCV blocking, since it's not totally ling tight. Probably going to stop this dead in its tracks, though. And even though we went for 8 racks, I would say we're in a pretty solid spot.
Defensive 8 racks.
Yes. You get those Marines real fast, real quick.
Yeah, that's a hard read.
Yeah. And yeah, we're off of gas. Gypsy scouts this fully, so we know that we're getting speed behind this, link speed.
Yeah. Poor Jaeyun.
Yeah, really not his day. Scouting didn't go in his favor. He got scouted pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Playing against Terran. I mean,
it's really embarrassing to lose your favorite matchup.
Yeah, you'd think so. But Jaeyun is still talking smack at the beginning of this game, so he's got a little fire left in him yet. And we're sending our links to top right. I wonder what we're looking for.
I think he was mostly making excuses, right? He was saying he was floating 100 minerals.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. You really hate to see it.
How does Gypsy follow up here?
You can do whatever he wants at this point. I mean, yeah, I would probably just go for 2 racks after this. He didn't go for like a... Well, he got his gas. He's getting his gas pretty quickly, so... Yeah, we'll see what he goes for here. He might go for like quick upgrades. He has that wall in, so he knows he's pretty safe from ling all in no matter what. So going for eBay first is definitely an option, even though we know our opponent went 9 full speed. That's how good this wall in is.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing Jaeyun has going for him is that he has speed links. He can block scouting.
Right. So he's going to be able to take this top right base if he wants to, when he gets the money for it. Obviously, his income is pretty atrocious right now, but we're just going for Hydrogen. It looks like he's just going to bust, which makes sense. I mean, this is kind of one of the things that you can do to punish a wall in like this. It's really awkward to place bunkers anywhere. I don't even know if there's more buildable terrain out in front of his wall, so we might not even be able to save those depots necessarily. In either way, he'll probably end up building his bunkers behind the depots and just sacrificing them in the event that Jaeyun does go for the Hydra all-in. Well, yeah, losing 2 depots definitely isn't enough to make a Hydra bust like that worth it. He has to win the game, but it does make things a little bit annoying for the Terran player.
Look at the little mouth on the Hydrogen.
Yeah, I thought of it more as like an elephant trunk.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Gypsy feeling confident enough to move out with his first medic. A little bit of a brave move, especially knowing that his opponent went for 9 full speed. We know for a fact those links have speed, but knowing Jaeyun, definitely not the player just to go for insane random all-ins. And we're gonna get this Overlord actually, which is pretty sweet. This early in the game, I mean, look at this. 25 out of 18 supply, are you kidding me? That's such a nightmare scenario to be in.
I need to make Sunkens here.
Right.
It's so horrible.
We need to make Sunkens and we need to make an Overlord. And then also we have this Hydrogen that's not doing anything right now. Gypsy smartly leaving a couple Marines at home, not pulling out with his whole force, so he's gonna try and prep for a backstab. He knows he's really far ahead here, so Playing safely is definitely a wise move, I'd say.
As Terran, you don't even have to move out. You just have to threaten, right?
Right.
Zerg might make less drones or make use of slunkies.
Yeah, I mean, he made those creep colonies right away, and then he also started morphing them into sunks even before the Marines had fully committed to moving out. So he could have delayed those a little longer, but now that Gypsy is fully committing to the move out, they will be well worth the money. And we'd see Jaeyun trying to go for the backstab, but Gypsy was prepared, like I said, with those Marines. So good play. Canceling that sunken as well also.
And it's annoying to go Lurker and have like this tiny Marine force beside here. It just delays the Lurkers forever.
Right. Yeah, we see him making Lurkers and Hydras at his top right base, which I think is smart. If Gypsy committed to containing his natural and kept reinforcing that position, we could just like scurry some Lurkers by to his natural and potentially end the game. But Gypsy smartly pulling back for now, probably just going to attack up, wait for some tanks. And he's definitely going to be keeping an eye on... The big factor at this point is when does Jaeyun decide to go for his hive? Because up until that point, Gypsy's more than safe to just keep producing tanks and only making one port vessel. And then he can do a tank timing pre-defilers. But if we see a super early hive, we're either going to have to push quicker or we're just going to have to skip tanks altogether, go straight for 2-port vessel. We see this firebat running by. Might even find the top right base.
I think he's going to find it, yeah.
He's going to find a lurker there. Double lurker. So he knows what's up.
We can probably tell what Jaeyun's doing by looking at his base, like if he has a Evo for armor or if he has a...
Yeah, we see the Queen's Nest and hives, so definitely going into that lurker style play. Gonna try and use, or sorry, Defiler style play.
Yeah, it's gonna be Defiler.
Gonna use Darkstorm to try and make his fourth base, which is... I mean, I guess on an optimizer, we have so much gas available to us, we can just sit on these 3 bases for a while. I'm pretty surprised that Gypsy didn't end up transitioning to mech since it's so good on this map, but obviously SK Terran does great too. There's nothing crazy about this map that makes SK Terran bad. It's just the extra gas seems like benefits the mech more. But we could go for like 3-port vessel off of this double gas in the main base, which is pretty goddamn incredible.
When do you take that gas? Like, when I watch pro games, they rarely take it. Well, maybe that was just at the beginning.
Yeah, like I said, most of the time when I see pro games, it's going for mech. I haven't seen a whole lot of bio, but I do see it now and then. I've definitely seen Light do it. No hold position on the lurkers though, and it doesn't matter though. We're still getting big kills. Some nice micro by Gypsy to salvage it, but still pretty good numbers. But I mean, I think we had to keep those lurkers back defensively. Our natural is so exposed at this point. I don't even know.
There might be something under that overlord.
I think the overlord's hiding some lurkers, probably 2 or 3, but if Gypsy just risked it and went for the bust, he might actually be able to pull it off. Just one lurker there, yeah. He would just immediately be dead skis. But
he can definitely bust the 1 o'clock without a Nidus.
Yeah.
He's probably 1-1 soon, right?
Only 2 lurkers, and it's not high ground. So he could definitely micro that and take it out if he decides to.
When I play this matchup, I like to stack like 6 of them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's really great.
That's pretty sick, dude. That's some Zerg level tactics for you.
Yeah.
Gypsy deciding to skip the tanks like I was talking about, just going straight for vessels, which is pretty smart. Tanks really just hit a... This Marine is playing a dangerous game, standing on unsafe territory. But, I mean, honestly, that might be the ultimate diversion. Gypsy thinks it's safe, but there's hold position lurkers there. Just one.
Pretty good.
I mean, 1 hold position lurker. I don't know how much damage this is going to do. It depends on how quick Gypsy is with his scan. But
if he waits for Gypsy to commit and just starts shooting,
yeah,
throw it off completely.
That's a good point. Yeah, this might actually be a complete disaster if Gypsy commits to this fully. But the vessel comes just in time, takes out the lurker, only loses 3 Marines in the process, and now Jaeyun is in a world of trouble, having to bring more lurkers to his natural just to hold on. Nice little donation there from Gypsy though, to keep things even, keep morale up.
Yeah.
We don't want Jaeyun to leave right away.
The thing with Jaeyun's base setup is he can take the Fury Clock and eventually take top right. It'll be all easily defendable if he can somehow get his eco up.
Yeah, Our tag is great right now because we have this Defiler nest already. But I mean, only one lurker here to put under that Darkstorm. I mean, that's really not that impressive. And Gypsy capitalizing on this maximum style with the dropships. One of the greatest moves against low eco Zerg that's going straight to Defilers is just go for dropships. They're not going to be able to have that massive number of Ling Lurker to combat every single drop, although we did in this situation, but it's definitely going to keep the pressure on. And we have another dropship sneaking at top right, which has the potential to do catastrophic damage if not dealt with properly by Jaeyun. But on the other hand, Jaeyun has Defilers, so really anything is possible at this point. If he has the multitask on point, he just made a huge round of drones. So all he has to do is hold on for a little bit longer, take all of these gases that are available to him, take the natural expansion at top right, and things are going to start looking like a pretty solid late game situation for Jaeyun.
Defilers are top 20 spell in Boudoir.
Yeah, not the best, but I mean, having...
They're not as good as EMP, but they're pretty good.
No, definitely not Hall of Fame tier like EMP. I mean, well, what are you talking about? A projectile that then explodes, and then even when it hits, it doesn't actually do anything? I mean, Defiler doesn't have anything like that.
So,
quad dropship coming in the main base. We have Lings already ready here, but I mean,
this is
I don't think it even matters.
I don't think this is enough. Well,
we could drop some on the high ground though and kind of ferry these over here. Targeting down the Scourge. Nice, only one connection.
What's interesting here is Jaeyun was so behind and just like on the back foot that he can't really leave his base, right? Which is strong against drop. So these drops, I don't know if they'll do much.
Yeah, but I think they are doing a part to keep Jaeyun pinned in his base like this. Obviously, the worry here is Terran. You're trying as hard as possible just to pin Zerg on these three bases and not let them move out. It's a little bit different since it's optimized there with all these gas geysers, but having a fourth base with all that mineral income extra means that there's going to be a ton of Ultralists to deal with. A nice drop up in the top right base. Great Darkstorm, but it looks like these Marines are just going to cause a world of havoc. Oh, but Ultralisk popping out just at the perfect time, dropping the high. This looks like a father game now. Ultralisk is coming out at the exact wrong time. But we're going to try and bust in the main base while this is happening. Only a couple sunken colonies, some Lings. Oh, but nice Darkstorm, having to push this whole army back. And now, look at how even these supplies are. Only a 20 supply difference at this point. And we have Ultralisks out, 7 of them at top right.
I think Gypsy started his Marine upgrades early though, right? Where's the big thing is 2-1.
Yeah, we're at 2-1 right now, which is pretty it's solid. That's what you need to be at right now for sure. And the next 2 are on the way. We'll see when 3-2 finishes, but I mean, oh my god, look at the upgrades on this Ultralisk.
Yeah.
3 upgrades on the armor. Good lord.
I think Jaeyun, I don't know if he wants to commit to a fight completely right now.
No,
but with Ultralisk you can usually double expo here.
Yeah, they're great defensively, especially, and yeah, they don't have speed right now for sure, so we definitely cannot take an engagement. And we need to avoid getting our Ultralisk mass irradiated. Having them all be softened up like that would not be good, and we don't have the Scourge to deal with these vessels, so they're just going to fly over here with impunity. 1 irradiate, 2 irradiates. Doing huge splash damage too, not just the single target damage. And Jaeyun taking the Nightmare engage here, coming around the corner, but nice Darkstorm. Gypsy not backing up promptly, so he's taking a ton of excess damage here. But more Radiates coming out, all these Ultralisks getting softened up. They're all looking blue. And that huge swell of gas and minerals that Jaeyun spent on those Ultralisks, all is pretty much for naught at this point. They're popping one by one. Yeah. Gypsy taking his 3rd base, upping his racks count, keeping his upgrades solid, really playing a solid late game here. Probably is going to try and take another main base at some point and maybe throw down some factories so we can go for some tanks.
What do you think of his 3rd? Why do you take that one?
It's pretty impossible for Zerg to do anything about it. You can't run Lings into there without having to go through the natural, which is just not really an option. So no chance of Ling Ultra doing like cool run bys at the 3rd base, which is nice. But you are right, he does want another main base really badly.
Yeah. I guess that hurts your 4th, but it's really safe as a 3rd.
Yeah. So he's going to be able to go up to like 10 racks, pump super hard, do all these dropship maneuvers, lots of vessels, keep the pressure on Zerg. And Zerg hasn't been able to take a 4th base until just now.
Look at the micro on those killing that 1 Marine.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That's really good micro.
More engagements happening all over the map. Darkstorm's getting thrown down everywhere. You're seeing the real multitask of these players come out. Oh, but you hate to see that. The quad irradiate on one Ultra. Everyone's done it.
I think Zerg, I'd like to see more plagues.
Yeah, plague is definitely the thing that's going to change the tide of this matchup. One single plague on the army or on the vessels really can change the game. But
Look at the damage on this.
Those Zerglings, it's like they're like hitting a speed bag. Oh, they've had enough. I like this. Going for the Eraser. Oh, Scourge popping out just in time though, but oh, look at that! Look at that! He didn't have the right one targeted, and so they just died of their radiation poisoning. You hate to see it, but on the other side,
flying over the Marines.
Flying over the Marines are the vessels. And we're slowly losing our Marines here for no reason. If we really just committed to one engage here, we'd probably be able to bust, but we're just kind of losing Marines left and right here. Still going to go for it, though. Only 2 Sunkens and a handful of Lurkers. Even though he has Darkstorm, it's really just not enough. We're going to be able to irradiate everything. If we just had a couple Fire Bats here, this would be a complete disaster, but even as it is...
The Lings do no damage.
Well...
Look how long it takes.
Yeah, only +1. And now we're at 3-2 upgrades for Gypsy. So his upgrade timing is really on point. Jaeyun hasn't really been able to apply any sort of counter pressure at all.
Yeah, as you said, that third is uncounterable, right? Usually Zerg is trying to run around and the fourth turn around.
But I'm getting a little bit more...
Yeah, Gypsy needs a fourth eventually, right?
Right. We're almost mined out at the Nat. I can only assume we're almost mined out at the main base. But we have a full control group of vessels. So if Gypsy has the multitask for it, he can take on just about any army right now. I mean, 12 vessels all generating energy at the same time. If we're fully utilizing the irradiate energy, I mean, we're just trading so efficiently that it's unbelievable, but it's just incredibly hard to have the execution for that. We see
happening at the third? Turn third?
It looks like there was a one Ultralist drop, potentially.
Well, actually, they're at the natural now.
Oh, okay. But at the meantime, going into the natural of Jaeyun with the Eraser is Gypsy. Tons of drones going down.
Yeah, it's a good move by Gypsy. I think this trade favors Jaeyun though.
It's hard to say. I mean, Jaeyun's really broke right now and down a decent amount in supply. Meanwhile, Gypsy floating money. It's very hard to multitask at this point, especially with so many vessels. But I mean, if we get another round of irradiates off on maybe these Ultralisks, I mean, Jaeyun's struggling to keep his drone count up, having to spend more and more money to replenish it.
Did we predict wrong? Is this not a 3-0?
I would not get so quick about it yet. Oh, look at this Ultralist interception. Sees the dropship.
Yeah.
Can't do anything about it. But
drop dead in his truck.
Holy moly, is that 5 Ultralisks? We gotta turn around, boys. Double dropships. Doesn't seem like it's gonna... Well, depends on where we drop. Oh, that's not what we wanted to see. But nice drop in the main base, shutting down all mining. If we got another similar drop up here at top right, not landing right on the lurker, that'd be amazing. But even as it stands, denying this mining is so good when Jaeyun's economy is already in a bad spot.
The problem with this is Gypsy is dropping, but he's not reclaiming 9 o'clock. You know? He's
Gypsy's actually just not mining right now, except a little bit in his main base. So he does need to send some units up there to clear that out and then take another base, probably top left, but that's going to be so hard to hold at this point. Battle Cruise is coming out though, which I think is a great idea. Taxing Jaeyun's economy while it's still not quite fully running, but I think he's made a couple more rounds of drones, and soon Jaeyun's economy is going to be completely unwinnable for Gypsy. Nice irradiates though.
The good thing is that Gypsy's +3 attack was finished, but Jaeyun's slowly catching up in armor upgrades.
Right.
So eventually, Gypsy's advantage there will fade.
Yeah, but Ultralisk popping off. Or popping.
This one's popping off.
This one's popping off for sure. I mean, look at him rave dancing. That's like a mosh pit dance that the Ultralisk is doing for sure. He's throwing bows in the pit.
He's throwing what?
13-year-old girls at the pop punk concert. Sorry, I should speak in more boomer vernacular.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. Concerts are public musical events?
Yeah. They had, like, back in your day, they had, like, the Greek opera, right? Or no, they had Greek plays.
We have orchestras.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice plague on the battle cruisers. I wonder if Gypsy's going to go full commit with, like, a D matrix, but For now, they just get taken out by Scourge. Not really the greatest use of Gypsy's money. Obviously, taxing the gas of Zerg is great with the Scourge, but once again,
down this base up yet.
Once again, getting his third base shut down. Really just a crazy back and forth game, but I think at this point, Jaeyun's starting to stabilize. And when he finds out about this base at 6 o'clock, it probably won't be long for this world. I can't imagine.
When he makes one Mutalisk to kill these vessels, it'll swing heavily in his favor.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it already is.
For sure. But, I mean, still, Gypsy's getting off stick from 88. Allowing him to trade amazingly, even though his economy isn't that good. And honestly, there's not anything with this fourth base at all. It looks like we're going to be able to bust in here completely. Only a control group of Zerglings to defend. And we're going to go for the Erasure at the same time. This might be the turning point for Gypsy. Taking out all the drones here. Keeping all of his vessels alive. Taking out the fourth base for Jaeyun. And what's his response? I mean, all we have are Zerglings. Are there no Ultralisks at all? Oh, we're taking out all the drones at the third base too, dude. There's Gypsy doing it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I was looking for a little more excitement than that.
I mean, we already knew it was going to be a 3-0.
Yeah, I guess this is kind of... It's like watching a movie where you already know the ending. Not the greatest split, and 2 well-timed Ultralisks coming out after everything's already been killed.
He needs to kill these freaking vessels.
Yeah, these vessels have just gotten away with absolute murder. Like, first degree... Oh, nice racing, GG. And just like that, we got that big 3-0 from Gypsy. We all knew it was coming.
We knew.
Except for that one guy that we interviewed.
Dude, that guy's so dumb.
Yeah, seriously. I wanna get him unmasked. I wanna go through the FISA courts and see who said that, because I need to know.
These were in-person interviews conducted by a professional interviewer.
He asked for his anonymity, I'm sure. But congratulations to Gypsy. The quick 3-0 smackaroony laying down the smackdown on Jaeyun. We really need some closer games, man. What the hell? But we're gonna have a quick winter interview, not winter interview, with the big Gyp himself. Gonna have to. We're gonna get him in Discord in here in a second. He's taking his usual leisurely time.
He thinks it makes him look cool, but it just makes him look slow, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's the danger in always being late.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Gypsy? Congratulations on your big 3-0 win. How are you feeling, man?
Holy shit, you sound retarded when you're talking like this.
Gypsy, how do you feel?
Is that how you're feeling?
Yeah, well, that last game was a complete disaster, so I just want to erase it from my memory already.
No, that's fair. You had 12 vessels there, really setting yourself up for a situation where you have to fully utilize all your multitasking abilities. But you kept getting your third drops. How is playing that game feeling at like a moment-to-moment basis where you feel everything slipping from your fingers, from your grasp? It's all falling apart around you?
Well, unlike you, Father, I was putting on pressure at the same time, so he was having to deal with a lot of stuff too. But yeah, it was just the biggest annoying part of that was when I sent my drops to 12 o'clock. Like he just had a random Scourge there, and there was no way. Like it was just random, and I lost 2 control groups for free.
He's just so lucky, right?
Yeah, it was really lucky. And also his build was really lucky. Just everything he did that game was lucky.
Yeah, you could say that. Were you? I mean, how excited were you to be able to bust out the 2-port Wraith on Benzene, though? That's not a common occurrence.
Yeah, I was practicing it this week with Striker a lot, and with Hawk, and even Crossy held me a couple of games this morning.
Does Jaeyun know that his whole dojo?
Right before.
Does Jaeyun know his whole dojo conspired to take him down in the series?
Yeah, he doesn't really have good friends.
I mean,
his personality is kind of bad.
What can you do?
I'm so confused because you guys sound really professional, but at the same time you're talking like clowns. So I'm not sure what tone to adopt right now. I'm kind of in between.
No, you're doing great.
Oh, you're doing great.
Excellent.
I just worked such a long shift today. I can't get out of the customer service voice. I'm permanently stuck in this now.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
How would you describe this series, Gypsy?
I tried harder. I prepared more to win, and Jaeyun didn't really care. So, one day you win some, one day you lose some. So I'm
Wise
sure
words.
Jaeyun will have his revenge.
Wise words.
Well, he told me he practiced really hard for this.
Oh yeah, I think you're making that out, dude.
Well, I mean,
Well, I mean, I think I was really fortunate to get the big W on the benzene game because
Yeah.
you know 2-port you really don't know how it goes, but he probably had no idea it was coming. But I mean, it's not about blindsiding your opponent with that. It's about just having practiced it and understanding the situations there. So
Right.
because I prepared it, I felt more comfortable in that situation, and then yeah, that really set the tone. After that, that was one of his best maps out of the way. Then basically Optimizer is going to be there, and then I got a really lucky win on Polypoid. I'm really unhappy with how I played the last game just now. So honestly, even though that was a 3-0, it wasn't as clean as I wanted it to be.
Yeah, fair enough. I was gonna ask something else. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the 13 command center. I mean, that's all that everyone was talking about coming into this game. It was mentioned in both interviews, and even in some of the anonymous interviews that we did. Everyone's talking about the 13 command center. Were you actually gonna use it at some point during the series, or was that just all mind games?
No, honestly, 13 command center. I just don't think it's that good of a build. So
really, what made you change your mind on that?
There's too much random stuff. Like whenever Zerg opens pool first in any capacity, or even if it scouts you first and then even gets like a more delayed pool before hatch, like it's just really annoying to deal with, and it's just not as stable. Like it is nice if you get it stable and going into the mid game, but you're inviting all kinds of annoying stuff in the early game, and I'd rather just play a standard game, like at least for the first couple minutes.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's all the questions from me. Intrigue, you got anything else you want to pick his brain with?
No, I've heard everything I needed to hear.
Yeah, well, we really saw everything we needed to see. But congratulations again to Gypsy. Big 3-0 over Jaeyun. Any last words you want to give? Any shout-outs to practice partners, teammates, anything like that? Plug your stream.
No, I don't care. But thank you, Striker, and thank you, Hawk. Played a couple games with me. I think that's it. And Crossy for one game. So thanks to those three.
Sweet. Thanks so much for stopping by for the post-game interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, have a great life.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and with that, we are concluding the day today. We got a couple more announcements, though, real quick. For the moment, this is going to be the final foul play in a series because we are switching to Turf Wars, which is our new team league coming up soon. We have a Maturino going on for that. We were raising funds, and we had some stretch goals, which we just absolutely smashed.
There's a lot of money in there.
Obliterated. The NA scene has been showing their generosity, showing that they really want to help support NA StarCraft, which is awesome. And since we hit those stretch goals, it is going to be tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have a King of the Hill between all of the team captains. So that is going to be to decide the order in which they pick players for their draft. We'll probably have just casting, maybe one of us, if we decide to not be lazy on our Saturday.
How many players is it? It's like a.
So it's just the captain's King of the Hill. So there's just 4 captains for this. But yeah, we're going to be doing that tomorrow to help decide the order for the draft. And we also have our Maturino going on for that. If you want to continue contributing, it'd be much appreciated. We're helping raise funds for our big team league, which I am super excited for. I know how much
pretty hype.
I know how much I love watching team leagues. ASTL was a complete blast, cheering for one team throughout the whole season, seeing how they did, having the ups and downs along with them. So you can live vicariously through your favorite players without actually having to play StarCraft, because Lord knows that's a pain.
StarCraft is not fun to play.
No, not unless you're playing Team Melee.
Yeah, you like Team Melee?
I let it slip.
We love Team Melee.
Tim, can you censor that in post? Can we bleep that one out? No, I'm getting no. Okay, well, secret's out, guys. Cat's out of the bag. I play Team Melee, but
Team Melee is the future.
Okay. We got to get back to the Turf Wars, man. It's all about this team league. Who cares about Team Melee?
Well, actually, a lot of people care about Team Melee. Everyone's talking about it.
I guess I'll leave that to the pros. But I think that's all from me. I think that's everything I got to say. Make sure to check out those Matcherinos. Make sure to watch King of the Hill tomorrow. Intrigue, you got anything else you want to leave us with? Words of wisdom?
No.
No? Okay. Maybe another time. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.